Hey there, YouTubers. Right, so redoing this video, the quick BIOS overview of the B660 Gaming X AX D4 motherboard by Gigabyte. I know whether it's this mic or my other one. This is Shure mic, 60 hertz buzz. Hard to listen to, and I'm sorry for everyone that watched the other one. So let's get into it. First time into the BIOS, you're going to end up in easy mode. What do you see here, folks? Over to the left, there is some information here, right? The motherboard. This is the B660 Gaming X AX D4 BIOS version. F4 is the most current as of August 23rd, 2022. We did a BIOS update video. It also has that 60 hertz buzz in it. When F5 comes out, I'll redo it, and we'll have another BIOS update video with better audio. CPU shown here, quantity of RAM, and then the RAM and where it's located. Okay, so normally, folks, you want to do A2, B2, right? You want to get dual channel. I bought this supposedly new and unused. Lo and behold, I believe it was Amazon reject. Had two bad RAM slots, A1, A2. So we're doing B1 and B2. And the RAM I have in here is fixed 3200 megahertz. Okay, so can't overclock it. That is the base speed for this RAM. So some things will be slightly different in here. If you had RAM, you could overclock. Down here, your boot sequence. A couple places you can make changes to this. We have currently showing, should be just one drive in here if I remember correctly. Smart fan info here, what you have plugged in. So we have one drive via SATA cable, all right. PCIe graphics card plugged in there, and then M.2. So actually we have two M.2s plugged in out of the three. Some other basic information, basic stats, right? CPU temp, system temp. Let's go over to advanced mode. There's also a smart fan to look at here before we go to advanced mode. Smart fan, we'll see that again later on. And then this is one of the places you can do a BIOS update. Check that video out. Like I said, it has the sound's not as good as it will be when I redo it. All right, advanced mode. So you could hit F2 or just click on it. Starting from the left, favorites. You have all this information in here that you can get to quicker by loading it up in the favorites area. Moving over to tweaker. So we'll look at the different menus here. And you'll see, obviously, this other stuff. I'm not going to click on all these, but advanced CPU setting. So if I left click on that and hit enter, it'll open up. Some of these you have to double click, but here's what you got in here. And you may see some of my videos, I shut off turbo boost. This is the location you could do that. All right. You don't want to mess with that though. It's a good way to save on your electric at the cost of performance, right? Avx settings, if you want to change those. Active turbo ratios. Random mode. So a lot of these things, I don't mess with. Most of you won't mess with it, but we do try to show. Turbo power limits. And if we back up one more menu, advanced memory settings. This is where if you're going to do manual changing of your timings, come in here. All right. And just as an example, left clicked, enter, that would allow you to make that change if you wanted to. I think we missed one menu in here. This guy, okay. Advanced voltage settings. See that information. CPU VRM settings. And then one more click. Actually, it looks like there's your choices there for that menu. Okay. All right. Over to settings. Platform power. That's what that shows. And this doesn't like escape key on half of these. IO. I'm not going to open all these, folks. Super IO configuration. Actually, you know what? If you don't want, let's open this one up. If you don't want the App Center thing to download and install, this is where you're going to go to disable it, okay? You know, that thing drives me nuts. I don't use it. Well, half the time I use it, but I always forget that's in there, and I never tell you guys about it either. Super IO configuration. USB. Clicked on the same thing twice. USB configuration there. NVMe configuration. Doesn't show you a whole lot. SATA configuration. A lot more info in here. You can see my SATA drive, 1.5 gig. It's SATA 7 slot. All right. Once again, click on miscellaneous. So this is where you'll see TPM 2.0 versus this is Windows 10 and 11 compatible, right? And then PC health status. Another summary. Down at the bottom, before we move on to system info, smart fan. Another place you see that. If I had more than one fan hooked up, you would be able to get that information off it. Fan profiles. System info. I'm not going to hit Q Flash, but this is another place to update your BIOS, as well as down here. So at least 3 locations for updating the BIOS. Trusted computer. Let's jump over to boot. If you wanted to update your boot configuration, you would do that here. Of course, when you do your BIOS updates, folks, good chance if you have multiple drives that they may end up in a not the same order that you had. CSM support shown here. Windows 10 features. Yeah, that's right. I have Windows 10 on this one. And then save and exit, folks. That's going to do it. Thanks for checking out the video. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you.